Welcome back to Daily Dose. My name is Robert, here with Matthew, and we'd like you all to join us as we fall into this episode. Uh, I was sharing with Matthew that I had a fall yesterday, first one that I've had in a while. I don't have Parkinson's. However, I'm a human being. That means I'm subject to falls like anybody else. And yeah, the older you get, regardless of what's going on, falls hurt. There's a lot that goes into falls. You recently experienced a fall as well, and you mentioned the change in mindset that's kind of given you, right, based on what happened.
Yeah, like everyone over the age of 50, the reason I went to an ER is the same reason everyone over 50 goes to an ER. I was playing pickleball. No, I was playing pickleball, and it's interesting because some people watching what happened said I tripped over my feet and banged my head hard. Some people said I just fell and didn't trip my feet. So there's a pretty big difference between those two things,
Yeah.
by the way. And so, yeah, because I couldn't remember about 5 minutes of what happened, and because of my DVS mental implants, I went to the hospital right away, and they ran 4 CT scans to make sure I wasn't bleeding. But I did have a bruise, a slight bruise, and so I was released. But um, you know, the problem was it's acceptance. I keep looking over your left shoulder there at your book title. It's acceptance or not, meaning, okay, I'm a guy who has balance issues because of Parkinson's, or I'm not. Am
Mm.
I going to accept the fact that now I have balance issues because of Parkinson's or not? My handwriting has gotten terrible in the last year. I can't read what my own handwriting.
Yeah.
So am I a person who has micrographia or not? And is that because I have Parkinson's? So it's this constant reaccepting or not. See, so there's part of me that's like, well, micrographia, I'm gonna practice writing big every day for 10. But I got into other things. I got a whack-a-mole. I got other things I have to handle. And so big writing is in the play. I often say, I can't do all the things I've been asked to do. And to me, that's a real problem because I can't practice writing. I can't write in a gratitude journal. I can't do yoga. I can't do all of I could do some of them, but I can't do
Yeah.
them all. And so it
Right.
gets really frustrating real fast. Like, what aspects of my life am I going to not accept that sign over your shoulder? And I'm going to fight hard against, and which I'm not. And man, it's overwhelming is the best word I can think of. And it is. It is.
It is. And like you said, it's acceptance is an active process. And some days you can, and some days, you know what, I don't feel like it. And like you said, really importantly, when you have a laundry list in front of you and go, okay, I can accept, but which of these today? Which
Yeah.
ones do I want to accept? Because you're right, all of the therapies from, like you said, yoga to boxing to
Tai Chi.
improv to, yeah, any of them, do they work? Sure. The voice project, wonderful as well. The voice therapy, all these things can work. But am I going to spend all day being in therapy just to go, okay, I got through the day, and because tomorrow, guess what? I have to re-accept. None of these. It's just like the pills; they don't stay. So you're right. I mean, picking and choosing battles and learning what to accept and when. Let me give you an interesting kind of side thing because acceptance of loss is something for all of us. My dad, was a big time golfer, and about 2 3 years ago, he had to accept that he couldn't play anymore, even at the range. Like swinging, he'd swing and he'd fall. It was terrible. I mean, we tried holding him. We tried so hard, but it just wasn't happening. Well, then comes along, my sister finds this device called the Paragolfer. Someone built this thing where they put the strap around your knees and a strap around your midsection, and it works like one of those chairs, the motorized chairs, and it hydraulically pushes you up and it's holding you in. And my dad tried it, and there he is on the course. He can swing safely, and I'm like, okay, so there are things even with. And by the way, he was hitting the damn ball. It's like, geez, Dan Cochran, you know, you're still hitting the ball. So yeah, this is the thing in between. I guess that lends toward perhaps hope, faith, release of what you can, acceptance of what you can't type of thing,
It's a messy battleground, I can tell you, but there's some things in our lives that we're really passionate about.
Yeah.
And so for instance, when I'm not when I'm not doing the play, sometimes I'm doing scripture. I quote big passages of the book of John, for instance. Well, my tremor and my brain, my memory, I couldn't do 45 minutes of quoting the book of John until I innovated. And what you're talking about is an innovation. I innovated and thought, I'm going to bring a cellist up here. And
Interesting.
that cellist is going to play, and I'm going to reduce the amount that I had to memorize. And I'm going to sit down when the cellist is playing. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to look at my script. I'm going to come out and perform another 10 or 15 minutes. Then the cello is going to play. So I'm like, and that's the reason I wrote what I didn't say in the first place is like, I've got to have a play where I can still be an actor and have these tremors and not have my mind trying to figure out how to turn off the tremor. I can just tremor and
Yeah.
it fits in the play. So innovation. Now there's some things that'll never come back and some things you shouldn't, like driving. Okay. But I always tell Parkinson's patients, please try to think of a way that you can do it in part
Right.
and maybe not in whole, but you can do it in part. You can do it with this, device with a cello,
A
or
supplement of some kind.
better
Yeah.
than cello.
Yeah.
So instead of giving up,
Right.
I'm going to
Right.
innovate.
So yeah, and we need to close on this, but just to say what I heard you say that I really like is the idea of maybe not being so binary that it's not I can or I can't. Maybe I have to do it differently. Maybe I
Yep.
have to innovate, supplement, improvise, yes, and whatever it is. There's more than we think there is, and part of that comes back to the acceptance and then the brave part of saying, here's what I'm looking for. And sometimes we put that out into a room, people go, oh, sure, here's what it is. But until we've accepted, the person can't answer that call, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You've accepted it, and that's the problem with Parkinson's. That has to happen over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah, as it gets worse. So
Well, what gets better is hanging out with you, my friend. So thanks for spending time. Thank you for the continued process and what we're doing. And we'll do more of this. I hope everybody will come and check out what I didn't say on their webpage. We're going to be growing this every week. We'll
yeah,
be talking about the development process, where the screenplay is going, maybe where a version of the stage play is going, if we cut that into something for the film festivals, and ultimately how we get this thing funded and make the movie. So keep checking in, keep asking us questions. We'll
yep,
see you
yep.
soon.